bring in our foreign affairs editor, Rob Parsons. Rob, first of all, clearly the situation on the ground is escalating today.
Yeah, I mean, there were hopes, I suppose, that after that meeting of ASEAN on Tuesday, which called for restraint but not much else, that perhaps things would quieten down a little bit across the country today, but not a bit of it. There's been no restraint whatsoever from the military, with brutal scenes shown on video that people have taken of police opening fire on peaceful demonstrators, many of them in sit-ins, also images of police beating up medics with their rifle butts. And as you mentioned in your introduction, 12 people killed on top of the 18 people that were killed on Sunday in Myanmar, and this across the country in big cities like Mandalay, Yangon, Moniwa, Myingyan. You know, this is right across the length and breadth of the country. And signs of organized resistance as well. The CPRH, the CRPH, rather, the committee representing Myanmar Parliament, has set up as a sort of interim rival authority to the military. I don't suppose anybody really expects it's going to be able to do very much at this stage, but it is a symbolic resistance. Many of the people who might have been in it have been already arrested or in hiding. But as I said, a symbolic gesture of resistance. And more charges brought against Aung San Suu Kyi for publication of information that may cause fear or alarm. Quite where that comes from, nobody seems to know.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rob, we have this saga playing out at the United Nations. And what do you make of the kind of diplomatic tussle going on at the same time?
Well, yes, I mean, the representative of the United Nations of Myanmar has condemned the military. He doesn't recognize the military authority in Myanmar. And internationally, most countries don't recognize the authority of the military junta. They continue to recognize the authority of the government that was elected in lawfully in November by a massive majority. You know, but beyond that, you know, what can they really do about the situation inside Myanmar when the military seems absolutely determined not to listen to anybody, whether it's the United States and its threats of sanctions, whether it's calls for restraint by China or the European Union, the United Nations, and on Tuesday, as I mentioned just now, from the Southeast Asian bloc, ASEAN. You know, there was hope that ASEAN, of which Myanmar is a member, might have been able to bring some influence to bear. But the problem, I think, with Myanmar, with ASEAN, is that it is an organization that brings together very disparate political systems. You've got Vietnam and Laos, communist countries. You've got Myanmar, you've got Malaysia, democratic, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines. You know, it's very hard to get this bloc to act together on anything, never mind such a controversial issue as what to do about the situation in Myanmar.
All right, Rob Parsons, thank you very much indeed for your analysis then on that situation.